Hi, my name is Tiffany Williams. I'm in HCA 415. I will be giving a presentation on advocating for public health policy. The public health policy I will be advocating for is legalizing marijuana. In the past, medical marijuana has been a continual controversy subject in clinical use and in state-sanctioned dispensaries, as well as its place in public health. For years, individuals within the medical cannabis community agree that there are many disease-fighting properties in cannabis. Marijuana has revolutionized many industries, creating new jobs and advanced technology that's being developed for a safer way to consume cannabis. In 2009, the U.S. Attorney General stated that going after people who are using marijuana was not a priority. Legal in 23 states, medical marijuana is available in more than one form. Recipients of this type of medicine can smoke it, vaporize it, ingest it, or take it orally in a pill form or receive it in an edible form. Medical marijuana is classified as a Schedule I drug due to its potential for abuse. In the same breath, medical marijuana is not fatal as prescription drugs. You may ask, who does this health issue affect? All people who live in states where medical marijuana is not legal. In those states, there are patients who are terminally ill, living with cancer and HIV/AIDS. If these states do not legalize marijuana, those individuals will have to live in pain the rest of their lives. The impact that medical marijuana would have on the community would be a reduction of the penalty for possession of marijuana in Texas, from jail time to a civil fine. This policy will address the health issue because doctors will have the ability to keep their patients comfortable. You may ask, what about healthcare costs? Healthcare costs can be reduced by using marijuana as a treatment. Everyone will benefit from legalizing marijuana the way the U.S. healthcare system is ran. Billions of dollars in federal spending could be cut within the added improvements in our mental health care system. If marijuana is legalized and regulated, it will be one of our nation's largest cash crops under the rule of law. Jobs and economic opportunities in the formal economy will be created instead of an illicit market. State and local government will gain new resources of tax revenue from the regulation of medical marijuana sales. Testing of marijuana products is a standard requirement for legalized marijuana markets, therefore promoting community safety. Therefore promoting consumer safety. State, federal, and local governments need to develop, adopt, monitor, and evaluate strict regulatory mechanisms to control the production of marijuana production and sales and use while advancing the public health goals, preventing access to minors while protecting and informing consumers of legalized marijuana. If this policy is not enacted, the lives of cancer patients, people with epilepsy, anxiety, MS, and a host of other ailments will be affected. The fact is, marijuana helps more than it hurts. To the constituents that are not in favor of adopting this policy, I say this. If Texas legislator follows what Colorado did by regulating marijuana, Texas could gain $66 million or more as Colorado did in marijuana taxes in the current fiscal year. The most important message that I want legislators to hear about this policy is incarcerating people for nonviolent drug offenses destroys lives. Because with a criminal conviction under your belt, it isn't easy to get a job, and you're not eligible for student loans, which doesn't leave a lot of legal options for a productive life. Even if someone was never incarcerated, the criminal or felon label can follow a convicted. Even if someone was never incarcerated, the criminal or fellow. I'm sorry. Even if someone was never incarcerated, the criminal or felon label can follow a person convicted of a drug law violation for the rest of his or her life. Punishment for a drug violation is not only meted out by the criminal justice system, but it is perpetuated by the policies denying child custody, violating rights. But it's perpetuated by policies denying child custody, voting rights, employment, business loans, trade licensing, student aid, and other public housing. Student aid and even public housing and other public assistance. Criminal records are also cited as a reason to deport immigrants and bar other non-citizens from the United States. These barriers, like drug war enforcement itself, fell disproportionately on Criminal records are also cited as a reason to deport immigrants and bar other non-citizens from visiting the United States. These barriers, like drug war enforcement itself, fell disproportionately on individuals and communities of color. Relative to the crime being committed, the punishments for drug law violations are unjustifiably harsh and cause more harm than a drug itself. Any questions? I'll take questions now. Thank you.